You know, the white supremacist is extremely delusional. They really think that their particular culture is just so much better than everybody else's. And then when you hold up a mirror to who they really are and the devilment that they practiced in the past, definitely in the current today, they want to complain about just giving them their history, for instance. They want to burn books. Well, case in point, you have this, white woman, which is going to basically explain their culture. And as I stated before, individuals who are cool and individuals who put out the truth, I always will rock with an individual, but not collectors. So let's go ahead and roll that clip.
Sit back and buckle up because I'm about to drag the shit out of you. You said, but it hurts. You don't understand. They don't appreciate our white culture. We only want them to help themselves while we run this shit. Whoo, now, first of all, if you want to talk about white culture, our culture is genocide, rape, murder, sexual assault, pedophilia, spreading disease, enslavement, brutality, horror. We are domestic terrorists in our own land. The KKK. What happened in Charleston? Those were domestic terrorists. January 6th, domestic terrorists. White culture is barbaric. So what part of our culture do you think that black people should appreciate? Would it be the enslavement? Would it be all of the lynchings? Would it be Jim Crow? Would it be Law and Order and the war on drugs, which was nothing but a war on black people? Would it be the fact that the CIA deliberately flooded the black communities with crack for the sole purposes of decimating the black community? COINTELPRO, look it up. Would it be the deconstruction of Reconstruction? Would it be all of the massacres that were committed against the black community as soon as they started to become successful and thrive, like Black Wall Street for one of the most iconic examples? Would it be the voter suppression? Would it be sharecropping, which was nothing more than slavery? Would it be the 13th Amendment that legalizes slavery that you think that they should appreciate? Would it be the oppression? Would it be the redlining? Would it be the Homestead Act where they gave away a shit ton of land to white people and gave the the newly freed enslaved not a motherfucking thing? Although they were promised 40 acres and a mule, they never got. But white people got reparations for the loss of their slaves. Would it be the underfunding of the education system? Would it be mass incarceration? Would it be the school to prison pipeline? Would it be the police brutality and the black people who are murdered every single day by those who are supposed to, quote unquote, serve and protect, which, by the way, they took that off of the police vehicles. You will not see that anywhere because that is actually not their job. They are modern day slave patrol. Is that what the black community should appreciate? Would it be the complete denial of their experience? Or is it the lack of our accountability that they should appreciate? I think you need to appreciate education more.
Trust me, they know their culture. They know who they are. Every day, in order for white supremacy to work, they have to lie to themselves every day that they're such good people. And, they have to be like Matt Walsh and say colonization was a great thing. Slavery was a great thing. Oh, if slavery didn't happen, black people would live in America. So really, slavery was good. That's the asinine things they have to tell themselves. I would not want that to be the legacy of my people, to be freaking colonizers, enslavers, pedos, violating women, children, men. I wouldn't want that to be my legacy. I would want my legacy to be something great that anybody can look back on, and not something that people are so embarrassed about what the legacy is that they want to get rid of the books. Do you know how embarrassing that is? That when you look at your own history, that you want to not want nobody to even learn your history, how horrible it is? You suck majorly when you don't want nobody to know anything. Because see, for a long time, people was learning this sanitized, pseudo history that they was giving us in school. That's why we didn't learn anything. And then when the internet came up, all the lies start falling down to the ground and the truth come up.
First of all, if you want to talk about white culture, our culture is genocide, rape, murder, sexual assault, pedophilia, spreading disease, enslavement, brutality, horror. We are domestic terrorists in our own land. The KKK. What happened in Charleston? Those were domestic terrorists.
And the problem is when they talk about critical race theory and all of that, is that that's about white people not learning the truth about their own history, not us. We have been telling people about their history. But when white people learn about it, they're like, man, I don't really want to be a part of that. That is horrible. I'm talking about those who have a heart to see what humanity really is. But it's nothing that they can look at the white supremacists and say they did a good thing. Everywhere they go to use people, they destabilize countries. They do experiments in people's countries. Yes, they're involved in human trafficking and all kind of other things they're involved with, right? So it's nothing good that they are offering. Nothing. And the only thing good that they have produced is when other people have helped them produce it.
White culture is barbaric. So what part of our culture do you think that black people should appreciate? Would it be the enslavement? Would it be all of the lynchings? Would it be Jim Crow? Would it be Law and Order and the war on drugs, which was nothing but a war on black people? Would it be the fact that the CIA deliberately flooded the black communities with crack for the sole purposes of decimating the black community? COINTELPRO, look it up.
Because you remember when they first came to Jamestown, they failed. That's why they needed African slaves, because they couldn't even do anything on their own. Because if they really could do things on their own, they wouldn't have needed black people. They wouldn't need Hispanics to do all their work. Look at Florida right now. The Hispanic people are leaving in droves because DeSantis say that he don't want no undocumented people there. So they're leaving. And where are they, since they're so much better than everybody and they have a great culture? Where are they on those job sites? They're still not going over there. They'll let Florida go to the ground before they actually go work. But that's been the history because they didn't do no work, at all because we were doing all the work. And then now Hispanics and other immigrants are doing the work. Just that simple. But it's nothing about their culture that we could just like, oh man, that's just a great thing. But let me know in the comments y'all think about, what this woman is saying, and shout out to her because she understands the truth.